My friends, this moment is eerily familiar. If you guys remember, during the last ceasefire that Israel had with Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah was killed in his bunker. Israel did it. But it's interesting, guys, and Frank and I have talked about this many times on the show. There's an entire list of actions that were done by President Trump during his first term as president. I think like 15 or 16 or 17 actions as compiled by Rabbi Reuven Wolf out in Los Angeles that happened, and nobody knows if he did them consciously on those particular days, but they just so happened to be done. It just so happens that they were done on those particular days, namely Chabad holidays. I'm not going to go through the whole list right now, but rest assured I published that list before. Some of the things that were, like killing Soleimani, declaring, Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, like moving the embassy to Jerusalem, announcing, Golan Heights as part of Israel, founding a office to combat anti-Semitism, part of which was, declaring that the Jews are a nation, not just a religion, stuff like that. He did a few of these things, and it happened to be on Chabad specific holidays, like Yutet Kislev, 5th of Tevet, 19th of Kislev, 5th of Tevet, and so on and so forth. There's a whole list. I mean, compile the whole list. And again, my friends, I don't know that he does these things consciously on those days. It just so happens it falls out. But it'd be one thing if he did it like, if this happened like once or twice or maybe 3 times. There's at least like a list of, 15 instances of him doing this. So either he's getting some advice, or it just so happens that he's doing it on these days, and somebody up there is working, we don't know. With that said, guys, Trump just came out with an interesting statement. It's a very long statement, but I'm going to boil it down for you. With regards to Iran, he basically said, to the Ayatollah, he's like, I blew up, you came out and you said like that you just won this war, right? Despite the fact that I blew up all your nuclear stuff, and Israel blew up all your nuclear stuff, and I even knew where you were and I could have killed you. He literally said that. I mean, not in different words. But I let you off the hook. I even told Israeli planes to turn the flip around. And I even said that I'm going to loosen sanctions on you, and this and that, to see maybe you would like come to your senses. But no, you won't. And now, basically, the time for games is over. He basically told them, the last sentence he said, you really would get more with honey than with vinegar. You guys are really miserable. You're really angry. You're really this. You're really that. You're boasting that you won the war. You're this. You're that. And you know that I let you off the flipping hook. And then he just said, you get more with honey than vinegar, and then peace. My friends, I stand by what I said before. I suspect that it's either going to be President Trump himself, or, American forces, American jets to be precise, or Israeli forces in conjunction with Americans, who will, and with the go-ahead from President Trump, who will finish off the supreme leader of Iran on either Motzei Shabbat or on Sunday. We may come out of Shabbat here in America, let's say, or wake up on Sunday morning to find out that the supreme leader of Iran, Khamenei, is finito. And then, now we can start talking seriously about the people of Iran doing what needs to be done as far as the regime is concerned. By themselves. I mean, largely by themselves, right? Listen, guys, this is just my what is it called? Presumption. This is just my speculation, right? Based on previous patterns that I just described to you of what President Trump has done in his first term on these particular auspicious days. Listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll admit that I'm wrong. You know, it's like I joke with a friend. You know, sometimes these things are 3 or 4 days off. You know, there's a lag. You know, but B'ezrat Hashem, let's see what happens. But I personally would not be surprised if that did happen, especially given the message that Trump just gave, to the Iranian regime, which I suspected that this is exactly what he was doing. He wanted to give them a chance, and he gave them a chance, and now, in the words of the character Dieter, if you guys ever seen SNL, Mike Myers plays this East German guy, Dieter. He basically would say, your stick has become tiresome, and now the time for sprockets when we dance. So, B'ezrat Hashem, soon we will dance again. Alright guys, Shabbat Shalom.